I believe that today we are seeing validation that all of the advice you're getting, if it's not that these altcoins are going to absolutely rocket, then you're getting the wrong advice. Everyone's focusing on, Bitcoin moving 10%, 20%, and I love Bitcoin. But if you don't realize what the implications are for altcoins, then you really are potentially missing out on some of the biggest opportunities, I think, right? So a couple of super chats here. Are you able to talk about LTO network? It's a 10x blockchain. Yeah, I'll chat about LTO for a second. I've done a segment on it before. Where'd you get the Bitcoin pillow? I got it on Etsy. I got the first like, but ETH is not too late for you all to hit that like. Yeah, amen. 1,800, you guys, please smash the like. That's all I asked for. We've been giving you some of the best content, if not the best content here in the entire crypto space. The calls we've been making have literally in days, in minutes, gone from gain hundreds of % in value. That is something that you're not going to see in any other sphere of investment. And more importantly, that's something that I don't see anyone else being able to do repeatedly, which is find the coins that aren't just going to have a quick pump and then lose their luster, but find coins that are tiny, that have the potential to grow to be massive. We're seeing it with Parsec. We're seeing it with the Polkadot parachains like ChainX, like Phala. We're seeing it with these coins that we've been talking about here on this channel for a very long time and are now starting to show what kind of beasts they truly are. And if you guys are excited, and you guys are excited essentially to be part of the #1 altcoin community in the world, I think after the last week, it's pretty clear. I mean, still, all the altcoins from our list are the top trending altcoins in the entire space on CoinGecko. That says a lot about this community. That says a lot about you guys. So I want to say thank you to you guys for being such an amazing community. And it's just a really magical time to be here in crypto, to be here in altcoins. And so we're going to dive into these, in my opinion, some of the best opportunities in crypto and altcoins, and by extension, I think the entire world. So thanks to everybody. I'm really excited about this. 2,000 of you guys. If you could all smash the like, that's the only thing I would like. No super chats. I don't care about the super chats, though I appreciate you guys wanting to get my attention and stuff. All I want is that thumbs up button. It's so amazing, Elliot. So thankful to follow your advice. Can you say something about Parachute? Love your content. Yeah, I'll look into Parachute. I haven't looked at them in so long. It would take me some time to dig into. Bao, I definitely took a look at. It wasn't enough for me. It was pumping too hard and a little too memed out for me. But it might be good. I had some people talk about it. It looked interesting, right? Looked interesting. Let's dive into this. Let's dive into the content right now. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, we're seeing here, obviously, a huge movement towards the one and only Polkadot. And when this happens, and you see this kind of movement out of Polkadot, and you have a 40% move, oh my gosh, a 40% move out of Polkadot. I mean, wow. I don't, here, let's do this. I just wanted to show you guys, wanted to show you guys here, because we really, like, for the people who are new on this channel, and there are many, there's about 80,000 newbies on this channel who weren't even here probably for the Polkadot video that we did just, what was this, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, we did this video. And it was called Polkadot Projects Can Make You Rich. And it was, obviously the clickbaits. I appreciate you guys in dealing with the clickbaits. It's not me, it's the algo. It's the algorithm, guys. It's not me. I wish I could just put the content out there. But here we talked about Dot, we talked about Gavin Wood, and then we talked about, where is it? ChainX at $2, $2.70. And then we also talked about, where is it? Where's the baby Phala? I know we talked about Phala in here. My thing's loading really slow because I'm live streaming. But anyway, we talked about this weeks ago. I talked about ChainX and PCX and Phala back in August and September. And so I've been trying to give you guys the opportunity here. I've been trying to give you guys the opportunity to get ahead here. And that's what I want. I want to do the research that helps you guys get ahead of these pumps. And thankfully, over this last few weeks, we've been able to see that this research is bang on the money. It gives me confidence to keep doing this for you guys. And I just want, hopefully, to give you guys the good information. Pretty much what happened in the last bull run is you had a whole bunch of people clickbaiting and pretty much saying that every coin was going to change the world. And, for me, I'm a developer. So I've been making products now for most of my adult life, about 12 years. And I've been working in blockchain for over 3 years. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be revealing my project to you. I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit excited. It's been so long in the works. It's kind of like revealing a child. But I use my experience to try to filter out the noise and give you guys the good stuff. And when I find something I'm really excited about, it's because I think that there's something really disruptive there. There's some combination of elements that I think is truly successful. And now we're seeing over and over again. I mean, look at Parsec right now. Parsec right now, we were covering this at 5 cents, right? 5 cents. That's 1,800% growth. Is that right? No. No. I did that totally wrong. That's 3,200% growth. 3,200% growth. So yeah, there's so many coins that we've been talking about here that are absolutely beasting, right? Absolutely beasting. And so I just want you guys to get ahead, right? And I know that if you guys get ahead, then I'm doing my job right. And that, when it comes to me doing the things that I'm really passionate about, like my project, you guys are going to be excited and you guys are going to want to support me like I've supported you guys. And that's really my goal. So I want to share with you guys the best opportunities in the space, whether it's Parsec, Fallon Network, Keeper DAO has been on an absolute tear. We were talking about this at $60 just a couple of weeks ago at $60. Now it's pushing up to 330. What is that? Like 500% growth or something. This thing hasn't even finished its emission period, guys. This is still in its ICO sort of emission phase. I'm expecting some serious fireworks from this one. The force is strong with Rook. If you guys haven't seen my Rook video, I highly encourage you guys to go check it out. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of new people entering the chat. 3,200 of you guys. If you guys were part of this Rook explosion, if you guys were part of the Fala explosion up a few 100%, if you were a part of Parsec up over 3,000% since we've been covering it. And we even covered this thing through the hard times, right? This thing went up to, 40 cents and then came down all the way down to like 8 cents again. But, when you have conviction in a project and you do the fundamental analysis, you can stick with it, right? ArcherDAO. Look at it, pushing up to new all-time highs pretty much. It's almost at all-time highs, 166. This thing we covered, 2 days ago at 40 cents or something? The magic of altcoins, right? Alliance Block, pretty much sitting at all-time high. Yeah, it hit all-time high just a couple of hours ago. We're covering this thing since 4 cents, right? And so when you find coins that have this disruptive potential, I know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are exciting and I love them and I hold them. But what I do is I like to find these babies that can go on 10x, 20x runs and get some big pops out of them and then take profits into Ethereum, take profits into Bitcoin. And that way you have more Bitcoin and more Ethereum. That's really the way. The reality is that people will tell you to trade Bitcoin with leverage or trade Ethereum with leverage. But most likely, unless you're a really good trader, you're probably going to get wrecked. You're probably going to lose your money. And you can lose money on altcoins. It's not a 100% gain, but I've just had more success with altcoins. I understand altcoins better. And I feel like my research can give me the edge on altcoins. Whereas with the Bitcoin trading and the Ethereum leverage trading, I don't feel like my research really gives me that edge. I don't feel like I'm playing to my strength. And I believe you should always play to your strengths. Whatever your strengths are, you should play to them. Like if your strengths are trading, play to your strengths, right? Where can we buy Euler? It's not out yet. If you guys see anybody advertising Euler, it's probably a scam. So definitely don't buy that. Euler is a very, very hotly anticipated project, and there's not any new free pre-sale coins coming out. They don't need the money. So if you guys are seeing Euler on sale, it is a scam. Cardano, yeah, I'm going to be doing some deep Cardano analysis, some deep Cardano videos. It's got a big community. It's got a big community, Cardano, and I want to pay it justice. I will say, I get a little frustrated with I love Hoskinson is a very smart guy, but just the pace of Cardano. I guess they have Guggen coming now, so it's like finally we have smart contracts, right? This is what we've been waiting for. So with Guggen coming out, I feel more excited, and so I think it's time now I can start reigniting my Cardano coverage. But I think I was right to hold back for a while, just because in the meantime, while we've been waiting on Cardano, how many 7x's, 10x's, 32x's have we had in the time we've been waiting? And Cardano's done, I don't know, what's Cardano's performance like? I think it's moved a little, right? It's up here at 35 cents. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. It's not amazing, right? It's come down. Where was it? It was like 16 cents, yeah, in December, 10 cents in the fall. So it's done like a 3x. Nice. It's nice. It's good. It's not bad. I guess it was down here. This was last year. Yeah, this was 2019. It doesn't count. Yeah, it's done a 3x. That's good. It's nice pop lately. But we've had, how many coins have we had 3x overnight, right? And so I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with Cardano. I'm just saying that I wanted to wait to see them get a little closer to launch before covering. Reef, I'm not so deeply into Reef. I think it's a Polkadot DeFi. I think I'm not too deeply acquainted with it. Ocean, I love. What's Ocean doing these days? I mean, and look at this, guys. Fallon Network, Parsec, Polkadot, KeeperDAO. Obviously, I'm not the only one talking about Polkadot. But, these are all, like, other people aren't talking about Fala and Parsec and KeeperDAO. These are coins that I don't think I've seen any other creators talking about. So to see them trending for days and weeks, I think it's you guys. I think you guys are the community that are really understanding the importance of this and spreading it and making it exciting to other people. And that's where you want to be. You want to be at the ground layer with altcoins. You want to be there early. And that's how you can, when you hear about people who truly make some sort of life-changing gains in crypto, it's often that they were in like the Ethereum ICO, or they bought Bitcoin in 2012 or 2014 or 2015. It's the time, it's the earliness. Yes, there are some people who are like incredible traders, right? But it's getting in early. It's getting in early to like the best projects and recognizing their potential early. That's how that's the crypto come up, in my opinion. I mean, it's not an opinion, that's a fact, right? And so, getting in early to me is priceless, and finding the coins that can go to the tens of billions or the hundreds of billions, like the Ethereums, and finding them early, like looking at Polkadot, it's at 18 billion. It's about 1/10 the size, I think, or maybe 1/5 the size of Ethereum. It's not that cheap right now, but Polkadot could be, at the same size as Ethereum in the future. I think it's great. Again, Polkadot, I kind of like put my long-term profits into, but it is on an absolute tear. What we can see here is that when Polkadot moves, we can see that the DOT ecosystem is probably going to move next, right? And so if you look at Polkadot and Kusama, look at the DOT chain is 18 billion, right? Whereas Kusama is 800 million, right? So you have like a 20x or something like that between them. And Kusama is arguably almost as important a part of the Polkadot ecosystem as Polkadot. And so that's why Kusama is a really good bet. That's why I've always been really in favor of it. But then we see Fala it was just underperforming for so long. They're the privacy network, really far along. They've received 2 Web3 grants. ChainX, I guess people don't like their marketing, but this thing is a beast. It's the same to me kind of concept as Ren, but with a little bit of improvements. And so ChainX to me has always been this sleeper, and I never hear anybody talk about it. And now you're seeing it just perform. So hopefully this is the beginning of a lot of good things to come for ChainX. Even though Ren here is in the DOT ecosystem as well, because they're going to get a parachain. Look, Ren is 500 million and ChainX is 59 million, right? It's still a clean 10x growth for ChainX to catch up with Ren. And ChainX to me is the first mover here. They're going to have their shop set up on Polkadot way before Ren, I believe. Let's dive into some chats here. Thoughts on SPI shopping? I feel like I missed it. My buddy Adam Hoddle, Pepe the Goat, he was talking to me about it at like $1, and I just didn't quite understand the narrative with Visa cards and PayPal. I didn't understand why we needed a dedicated shopping platform. I'm not so sure it's gonna last the pump, to be honest. So I'm not promoting it, right? What's the word on Stellar XLM? It's a good long-term one. I have some bags of Stellar, just dusty old bags. In case they go somewhere, I'm happy, but I'm not buying new Stellar personally. Do you know much about Anchor is going to be a solution provider for Polkadot? No one is talking about it. Working with Akala, also Luna. Yeah, I like Anchor. I've done a lot of coverage of Anchor. I need to check back on them. They had some FUD recently. They've just been underperforming. Maybe they're a good opportunity. I need to look back into them. Elio, if we weren't part of these pumps, should we look elsewhere or wait for a correction? So there's it depends, right? Because if this is anything like the last alt season we've experienced, 100% pumps is nothing, right? We've seen 100x pumps, which is 10,000%. We've seen 1,000x pumps, which is 100,000% pumps. I don't want to put astronomy math into your head here, but seeing like a Fallon network, which is a key Polkadot relay chain at $36 million when Polkadot is $18 billion, there's a lot of room for this. If this becomes a critical privacy layer on Polkadot, well, maybe this needs to come up to a couple hundred million. Maybe this needs to come up to $1 billion or something like that. I don't know. But I'm just saying that there's no reason, there's no there's a narrative that some of these Polkadot parachains can grow really, really, really dramatically. What if Chain-X becomes the de facto way to get Bitcoin into Polkadot, to get Ethereum into Polkadot, to get other assets across Polkadot, to do derivatives on Polkadot? Like, what if Chain-X ends up occupying these really amazing places? And there's plenty of arguments that it won't do that, right? There's plenty of arguments that it won't be that first mover. I know a lot of my friends on Twitter really love Aria Robotics or Robonomics. Oh wait, no, they like XRT, not RWS. Where is it? Robonomics. Yeah, this one, 27 million. I'm not as bullish on Robonomics. I have a little bag of it, but yeah, it could do some amazing things. I just think the robotics thing is just a little further away from being like a really widely used thing, but who knows? Plan for the future, right? I have some really good FA guys on Twitter that are super bullish on it. So, I'm not too egotistical to grab a bag, right? I think the DOT ecosystem is going to be a really, really easy place to get some gains because these parachains are going to be scarce, right? Not everyone's going to get a parachain. And so if you get a parachain, you're going to have like a bit of a protective moat. Warren Buffett, one of the best investors in the world, would always talk about a protective moat. And I think this is actually a good time to do a little bit of a just general investment philosophy concept here. Old Buffy boy, he would always talk about protective moats, right? Because he doesn't care about how much money you're making. He doesn't care about sort of the current situation with the business as much as the future, right? If you have a protective ecosystem where other people can't do what you're doing as easily, then you have an advantage in the market. And in crypto, it's really hard because you have open source development. You have essentially an ecosystem where people are competing with open source projects. So someone can easily see your code, fork it, and use it. Like, we don't know what is the code behind Android. We don't have full access to that. We don't have the proprietary code behind Apple iOS. We can't just fork iOS and copy it just by copying the GitHub. Whereas you can do this stuff within crypto. And so understanding what the competitive moats are in crypto is a little bit different. And, for example, look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been open source and easy to fork forever. Look at Bitcoin. You can fork it forever. However, why have those forks not worked? Why have those attempted coups on Bitcoin and Ethereum never worked? Well, the protective moat in crypto is oftentimes the community, which is why community is the most important and most fundamental thing. However, beyond that, there's also going to be some protective moats here, just the way that Polkadot works, right? The way that Polkadot works is you have these parachains, right? Where is the... All right, well, it doesn't matter, right? I can just explain it. But essentially, you have these parachains with Polkadot. And so each project can have its own chain. But they're not just allowing you to infinitely spin up parachains. The parachains are going to be limited, and they're going to be auctioned off by the DOT community. And so you're going to have to gain a certain amount of favor, curry a certain amount of favor with Polkadot and the Web3 Foundation and the DOT community. You need a certain amount of Polkadot to lease a parachain. And so that kind of a groundswell, if you do get that, is going to present what Warren Buffett would consider a protective moat around your business model. So even if someone can fork your code, they can't just spin up a parachain. That's going to be a very difficult thing to get, which is why the Polkadot projects that do get DOT parachains are going to be in a very interesting position to essentially secure a little bit of competitive advantage. And I just think at the very least, they're going to pump like crazy. Whether or not that's a long-term or a short-term pump, you're going to see some really, really interesting valuation figures probably come into the Polkadot network because of those protective moats that this is going to offer, which is, in my opinion, a bit rare that you see a crypto ecosystem that offers these sort of permissioned and protective moats, which, you could argue is good or bad, right? What I look at is just, what is it? Is it something that can potentially lead to profits and gains? That's kind of, I don't want to dumb everything down to profits, but in the end, I think a lot of people are here for profits. So my goal is to optimize for that and give you guys what I think of as the things that are going to make the most profits. I mean, look, Alliance Block, what do we have here? We were covering this thing at 4 million market cap. It's up at 62 now. Just a couple of days later, it feels like days ago that it was at 4 million. This was like in mid-November or something. Chain-X, $2, mid $2 range just a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. Whole DOT ecosystem on fire, to be honest. Polkadot, look at Polkadot. Just look at Polkadot over the last 90 days. We saw Polkadot here chilling at $5 in this accumulation zone. one of my buddies was talking to me, another colleague here on YouTube, talking about how thankful he was for this accumulation range, is what you call it. This accumulation range after Polkadot came down off this $5 range and just kind of chilled here in the sort of $4 to $6 range, allowing for people to scoop up as many bags as they want. And then boom, we get this. And now it's, it's absolutely monstrous right now. Absolutely monstrous. Onward and upward, right? Where we're seeing this $5 now is, you've now had a full 4x, right? That's amazing. Amazing. Keep It Out Rook. I encourage you guys to go check out my coverage of Keep It Out Rook. I'm really, really passionate about Rook. I think it's going to go absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Guys, I'm not going to talk about Wise Token. I don't like it. I know I got contacted by so many people about it. It's just, if you guys can understand, every other coin that gets spammed this much ends up being a scam. I'm not saying Wise is a scam. I'm just saying the tokenomics only sort of thing doesn't work. People are comparing it to Hex. Look, I think Hex worked a lot because of the unfair launch, because of the big money supply that they had. I think that helped them a lot in the long term, looking back, hindsight. And so I don't think that Wise is just going to be able to recreate what Hex did. Okay. That's my belief. I could be wrong, right? I prefer to look at fundamentals in tech. It just doesn't excite me if seeing a tokenomics scheme that is sort of designed to pump doesn't get me excited. It just doesn't get me excited. It's not where I put my money. It's not where I've had my success. And so if you want to go look for the sort of tokenomics pump coins that could pump as fast as they dump, that there are other channels that are probably better for that. At what PRQ price will you take heavy profits? I don't know. I don't want to say anything about taking profits on PRQ because I don't want to set off some kind of chain reaction of events here. People tend to overdo things when I say like, oh, take profits or whatever. So it's like, I make videos on taking profits. I encourage people to practice sort of risk management and learn how to take profits on their own. But I'm not going to say like I'm taking profits here when in fact, I haven't taken profits on PRQ. All I did with PRQ was I actually just took enough out to pay my taxes for last year. And then that's it, because PRQ is a sponsor of the channel. So I had a tax liability from some of the PRQ they gave me. Other than that, not a big deal. I'm personally really excited for them going forward. So I talk with the team a lot, and I think they have a lot of exciting stuff still coming. So I'm not taking profits on PRQ yet. Who knows? Maybe it could come to bite me in the butt. But in the end, I teach you guys how to do risk management. I encourage you guys to watch the risk management videos, but I'm not going to tell you where to take profits right now on PRQ. How do you feel about 1-inch exchange? They are not super micro. Yeah, they're all right. They're all right. I don't own any 1-inch. I didn't use it a ton, but they're okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's not one of my favorites. Are you worried at all about the Bitcoin maximalists saying most of the altcoins are going to zero? Yeah, Rudy, you must be new here, Rudy, because that's what Bitcoin maximalists have been saying since the beginning. They've been saying that altcoins are going to zero. They said Ethereum was a scam. They said that pretty much every coin that comes out is a scam, that it's going to go to zero. And in the bear market, most coins will go down 80, 90%, but so will Bitcoin. And, Bitcoin retraced 80% in the bear market. And granted, it retraced less than some of the altcoins, which were down like 99%, and it came back harder than most altcoins. But then there are still coins like Lend, right? If we look at Lend, which went down to like a micro, and then it became Aave. And Aave is, arguably, you could make an argument that Aave is one of the best coins in the entire industry, right? We've been talking about Lend and Aave since July or something. But yeah, I mean, this is an absolutely phenomenal project, right? And so this doesn't even show you the price history because they switched their token. But there are coins that come back. There are coins that don't. There are coins that go harder than Bitcoin. There are coins that dump harder than Bitcoin. There are coins that come back harder than Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin's amazing. It does what it does amazingly. It's the entree. It's the Coca-Cola. It's the brand. It's the belief. It's the trust. But there are other innovations in the space that excite me more. And if you think altcoins are going to zero, let's check back. Why don't you go ahead and tell me? Show me the altcoin that went to zero. Show me the altcoin that went to zero. Thoughts on BiDAO, testnet soon, mainnet soon after? No thoughts on BiDAO. Why is stake so undervalued? Is it the ETH equivalent of Kusama? It's not the ETH equivalent of Kusama at all. At all. Is there any help for people like me that bought PRQ during the fork and now have worthless PRQ? So you bought it during the dip? Is that what you were saying? You bought it after they got hacked? Yeah, we did an episode on that. If you were one of like the few people who bought it right after they got hacked, I did a video on that. Thanks for the super chats, guys. I'm gonna try to get to this. Non-super chats. Polkadot, are you seeing ETH into 2017? Yeah, I mean, Polkadot definitely has it has the sauce right now. It has the sauce right now. Don't say that, bro. Yeah, okay, so there's rug pull scams. There's rug pull scam projects. But the reality is, if you have a decent altcoin that has a team that's actually working on it, that's not a total scam, that's different, right? If you're talking about coins that were actual scams like BitConnect, then sure, there's scams out there. It's the Wild West, guys. But if you're talking about good coins, if you're talking about altcoins that are solid teams in tech and Throughline and investors and a network and products, they don't go to zero. They might lose a lot of their value, but they don't go to zero. And more importantly, there are so many of them that outperform Bitcoin that it's myopic and it's irresponsibly. To me, it's higher risk. Call it what it is. They're higher risk than Bitcoin and they're higher reward than Bitcoin. It's the same value risk reward pendulum. But as Raul Pal said, actually, I'm going to get this out because I really liked this. Raul Pal said, he finally, he's the guy behind Real Vision Finance. And he had this really interesting tweet where he said, where is it? He essentially said he was going into lower cap alts, and then everybody was giving him flack because he's always really like a Bitcoin guy and he's like a macro guy. And people were saying, oh yeah, well, you have the chance of losing all your money. And he said something to the effect of, yes, but you have parabolic odds. And that was a really interesting way to say it, which is, yes, you could risk more, but you could also have this insane win where the asymmetry of the opportunity is there. So if you put $1,000 in to 10 coins, your total risk is $10,000. But in an altcoin season, in a low cap season, those coins, if one of them does significant growth by measured by altcoin land, 5x, 10x, whatever, and say the other ones lose half or 3/4 of their value, which would be dramatic, right? Then you're looking at still getting ahead on that. And that's still a win, right? And so if you have the parabolic odds on your side in moments like this, and you know how to de-risk your position once you get ahead, like taking your initials out, that's sort of, to me, part of the game. That's the game that I think is truly, truly transformative. If you guys are excited by this, if you guys have been enjoying the calls, I mean, I don't think there's another channel out there that's put these calls out there. I don't think there's another channel that's consistently delivering the quality of research and the win rate that we've had here. And if you guys appreciated that, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate the support. It's all I want from you is that thumb up. That's all I care about. And that's enough for me, right? All the super chats are nice, but I do this for the likes. Thoughts on Robonomics? Yeah, it's cool. Robonomics is an interesting project, close ties to Gavin Wood, but at the same time, I have bigger bags in other projects. I think Robonomics is still a bit conceptual. First, thank you. Second, Polka Cover. Polka Cover, I need to look deeper into, but it kind of screams of there's a lot of these insurance projects that have just sort of popped out of nowhere. What's a good one? Let's get to the insurance tab. So there's some projects that have been working on this for a long time. You guys know I'm pretty bullish on Union. You guys know I'm bullish on Bridge coming out. Sadly, Cover got hacked, but I was also, I was covering Cover since, where was it? Let's see. Technically, oh wow. Okay, so they forked it, and then it pumped back up to 680. Well, if we go to the Cover, do they have the old Cover here as well? Cover old, yeah. So if we go back here, the reality is that if we go back to when we first started covering Cover, we were covering it, back when it was $200, $300, $400. I mean, I think we covered it back here in November, back when it was really low. And then it mooned up here to the thousands. But even now, after the hack, when it got replaced and it's kind of lagging, it's still here at 436, right? So it's the people, my entry point was maximum a wash, right? At the worst case, it was a wash here, even after the worst case scenario of a hack, right? So I don't know. I think The insurance niche is still doing really well. I think there's going to be a lot of frothiness to the insurance niche. But to be honest, I'm looking at projects who have been doing it for a lot longer. Insurance is really hard to do right. It's very complex. And that's why projects like Bridge, projects like UNN that are really putting a lot of time and effort into their solutions are more exciting to me than the projects that are just coming out of the woodwork to take advantage of the pumps, which I don't think is really the right way to go forward. And you can see here, again, another trend here is going to be the Oracle narrative, which we talk about a lot. We talk about the Oracle narrative a lot. But let's pop into the Oracles tab here on CoinGecko. And we can see that over the last week, you know, I actually don't, people have been talking to me about UTU. I need to look into it, I guess. Didn't know it was an Oracle. Tokenizing trust. Got it. Doesn't seem like it's... Okay, so it does have a trust oracle. Okay, cool. But yeah, what do we have? A market cap here of $2 million, right? So now we have the micro cap oracle starting to make moves here, growing 100% on the week. Ori chain, which we've been talking about here since the mid-teens. You know, one of the first people to really push this super hard was Mr. Business Intelligence, someone who I talk about on Twitter. You should definitely give him a follow. And also... Middle Child Pack, Crypto MCP, and then Chainlink, right? We see Chainlink having this beastly week, and what we can assume is, oh, look at DOS making another run, and this to me shows you that the Oracle narrative is starting to become healthy again, because DOS we covered back here in July, right before it did this. We covered it at 2 cents all the way up to 38 cents, and then it came crashing down, of course. And so now we see it starting to heat up again. It was down here again at 2 cents. Let's go back here. It was down here again at, you know, I guess it got down to 4 cents. But it got pretty low again, right? It got pretty low again. Let's see where it crashed down to at its lowest low of this correction. Yeah, it didn't get back down to 2 cents again. Or did it? Or did it? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But anyway, look at it. It's starting to beast upwards, onwards again. And so to me, when you see all the oracles moving in synchronous, that to me means really good things. Obviously, one of my biggest bags, API 3. I'm looking for fireworks out of API 3. I'm hoping that API 3 can really close the gap towards Band. Band protocol at 236, this at 55. I'm thinking it can close the gap there. And hopefully API 3 is going to be the one that makes the run at the big boy Chainlink. And so these are the Oracle narratives playing out right in front of your eyes. There's more oracles now. Dia was a hot one. Teller was a hot one. I think all the oracles might have the pumps, but seeing the low cap ones like the DOS is starting to really move makes me think that there could be something in the works here. Obviously, Bird Money, a super low cap one as well. If we're looking by market cap, we're filtering by, no, doesn't want to do that. Okay, let's refresh this page. So if we're filtering by market cap, we can see here that the lower cap ones here, probably going to be the more volatile ones. And yeah, I guess it's just about question, like not all these are going to be the most fundamentally strong. And so that's why, like, if you guys are looking for another sort of chain link, you know, a lot of people like Band. I have some bags of Band. They've done me well. We've been covering Band since about $2-3. Went on this huge tear up to 17, corrected way back. And then API 3, you know, this is one that I think is still yet to have its truly parabolic phase yet. This hasn't done a parabolic motion. It hasn't been part of an Oracle season. And that's why I'm kind of excited for it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the Oracle narrative is there. The insurance narrative is there. The Polkadot narrative is there. And understanding how to find quality within those narratives are going to be, to me, huge, huge value adds for you guys. Help you guys separate your portfolios from others. Grandmaster Ellie, thank you. Much respect. Thanks for the super chat. Wow, 99 euro. That's a lot. Thank you. Or a pound, 99 pound. Wow. Thank you for that. Very generous. Thank you. You guys don't have to tip me. Appreciate it. Hi, Elio. Checked Morpheus Network. Would love for you to investigate. I'll look into Morpheus. It's an oldie, but maybe a goodie. Whoa, $300 super chat. What do you think about LTO Network? Pada Velada. Sorry about that, for missing that almost. LTO Network. So, on-chain business credentials. Yeah, so this is interesting. I think they had a partnership with like the Amsterdam government or like the Dutch government last time I checked, if I'm remembering correctly. Interesting stuff they have going on. I think they did an acquisition of VIDT as well. They had a nice push a couple of months ago. Let me see. Let me zoom out here. Yeah, they've been having a nice push, right? We talked about them. I think they did a sponsored segment, if I'm remembering correctly, back around 5-6 cents, and they've been pushing up. So yeah, I don't know. There's some fundamentals here. I don't have enough of an edge on it to tell you, but it's definitely not like a bad project. Is it one of my bigger bags? No, but it's an interesting project. And so who knows? Like they seem to be making some serious growth. I mean, look, in the last 14 days, they're up 45%. Not a bad movement. Not a bad movement. Thanks again for the super chat. Elio, I've paid money to other influencers and none of them have helped like you. You're easily the best. Forked PRQ, not a real answer in a video. Forked PRQ, not a real answer in a video. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, bud. What are your thoughts on Bridge Mutual and what are your experience with PokeStarter projects and IDOs? Thanks. So usually the PokeStarter stuff gets botted to heck, meaning that these bots, they snipe these bids. Here, let me actually bring this up because I had a, oh my God, is PRQ at 176? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, wow. All right. Okay. That's a lot. Okay. So, here we go. So this is a Twitter post that I saw. So this guy's just saying, hey, just to get an idea of the luck, bot skills needed to snipe Uniswap listed coins. Here are the first 8 transactions for YapFi. This was a project I invested a little into in pre-sale. It's a much higher risk project. That's why I didn't talk about it here on the channel. On the channel, I'm only sticking to like super fundamentally strong things. Occasionally I'll tweet about things that are a little riskier, a little lower cap, a little more volatile on Twitter because the community on Twitter is a little more experienced. And so to me, I know that you guys will be able to, on like the Twitter community, I know that they understand what is like a sub 1 million market cap, what it means when there is more competition, when they can be more volatile. And so I feel like the Twitter folks know how to categorize that risk better. And there's so many newbies coming into the YouTube that I really care what happens to you guys. And I want you guys to have a good experience here in crypto. And I don't want you to have a 2017 experience where essentially you come in, you get wrecked by an altcoin, and then you leave. I want people to come into crypto and stay. And so hopefully by getting you guys into things or just doing research on things, not financial advice, of course, but just sharing what I believe is the more longer term sustainable stuff on YouTube, people have a better experience long term and they feel like crypto was generous to them and they don't feel like crypto was mean to them. With that said, I did put a little money into Yap, and this is a good example of this guy just saying, hey, these are all of the first 8 transactions were processed within the same block as the liquidity add, meaning that they were sniped, meaning that as soon as the liquidity is added for these smaller coins, you have these bots coming in and they're putting in huge amounts of Ethereum, hundreds of Ethereum, right, worth of buying activity. And so you have, looking at this, you literally have 123, 45, 18. This is almost 200 or over 200 ETH worth of buying pressure here, which is $200,000 on a market cap coin that was only 400K, right? And so you have half the market cap being botted and bought immediately, instantly. And so what that creates is essentially, this is what it creates. I'll bring it up for you. What it creates is this. So you see this this chart here. What you see here is this huge red wick. So if you see this huge red wick here, that's where you can see the sort of effect of this, which is that, let me get this over here so you can see it. So you see here, this huge red wick is it starts way down here at like 5 cents right here, way down here. And then you get it sent all the way up to like pretty much 80 cents. Right? So that's a 16x right off the bat. And then what happens is all the people coming in who are maybe excited about the project launch and they want to get their hands on the token, they come in just, on their Uniswap saying, hey, put in a buy. But if they're not bots and they're not using technology, then this buy, this big spike is going to happen first. And so what happens is from that point in, they're coming in to buy, but they're just getting dumped on from this super high price point. When they thought they were going to buy in down here, they're actually buying in up here. They're buying in up at 80 cents and just getting it dumped all the way down. And so within the space of one candle, you have this journey up to 80 cents and all the way back down here to about 30 cents. And so you have these bots jumping in, smashing the price up and then dumping down. And it's called it's a pump and dump. It's a pump and dump, but it's happening on a robotic level here. And so that's what happens to a lot of new coins in the space. They get botted. And PokeStart is a great community, a great place to start. But a lot of the launches there are getting botted as well. And so what I recommend to people is to wait. Either you wait until this dump happens and then you try to catch these lows around 30 cents, or you just wait for a day or so and you can start seeing it range like this and say, all right, well, it looks like it's ranging between 44 and 64, and then you start sniping these lows around the 40s, and then you're doing well here in the 60s, right? So that's like one way to approach it, but that's just sort of how it happens. And this type of thing is almost impossible to stop. It's really impossible to stop unless you're on a centralized exchange, and that means that you're giving up a pound of flesh to the centralized exchange to get your coin listed on there and launched on there through the IEO. So it's tricky stuff. And there's no real solution for this yet. The one solution that we saw was this one project that actually had a bug exploit in their contract, and a bunch of 1,000 Ethereum got trapped in there. So there's no one solved this yet, and it's just a problem with Uniswap launches is that the bots attack, and they're smart. The bots are smart. So tricky stuff. So that's my thoughts on that. Is that polls, IDOs are tricky. Eventually, if it's a really good project, you can still make profits on those day one entries, but it's just, you got to know the game. My goal is to teach you guys the game as fast as possible so that you don't end up getting dunked on by one of those veterans. And it's hard not to get dunked on. It's hard. Hope that was helpful for you guys. Prices are falling. Your thoughts on stake? I don't know what that means. What do you think about Coin DeFi? I actually really like Coin DeFi. They went through an interesting sort of hiccup phase, but I really like their automated text to their AI stuff is really interesting to me, and I think there's a potential for them to do like a BD deal. Let me see if I can get Coin up here. Yeah, so they're sitting here. They've been kind of just ranging for the last several months. They made a big mistake by trying to like push people to not use the Coin DeFi, the Coin ticker. Because their ticker is Coin, and quite honestly, it's a bad ticker to use because it's such a common word. But they had this really competitive launch again, then it got dumped down, and then if you were ignoring the launch and just waiting for the dump, you could have scooped it up here at 11 cents, and you'd be chilling here at 20 cents, 30 cents. They have an interesting product. That I'd be looking forward to them doing a little bit more of development on, where they actually have like an AI, they call it Grammarly for crypto, where it uses predictive text to like make trades and stuff in your browser. Interesting stuff here. I'm expecting some interesting stuff from Coin DeFi, but yeah, they just are working up to their building their product out. We'll see how they do it. 5,700 of you guys in the house. If you guys are enjoying the content, give me a thumbs up. My goal is to get this content out to the maximum amount of people, because the reality is that by getting people into good projects, by getting people high quality information, we can make sure that more people stay in crypto. I mean, in the end, what you want is for the maximum amount of people to stay in crypto, because the value of crypto functions on something called Metcalfe's law. And so if you have Metcalfe's law, which essentially states that the value of a network is equal to n squared, which is the number of people in the network squared. Just roughly understanding that the value of a network is worth how many people are in it. So if you are designing crypto, or you are the funnel for crypto, a lot of times is the investment circuit. So if you have a whole funnel for crypto of people coming in and they're getting burned on investments, they're getting into the bad quality projects, they're getting bad quality information, they're trading with leverage sometimes before they're ready to. If you're ready to trade on leverage, that's fine. You can go trade on leverage. I even have a link for it, but I make it clear that's only for experienced traders. Because if you're not experienced, I mean months, maybe even longer, years of experience, then you're probably going to lose money, and you're probably going to think crypto is a scam, and then you're going to get out of here, and you're not going to stay, and you're not going to contribute to this end number. And so the more people we get into the network, the better. That's why I've been focused on video games. That's why I've been focused on NFT, because I think that these are the assets and these are the mechanisms that we can create a wide funnel that actually brings people in and keeps people in. And by keeping people in the network, we can actually increase the value of the networks. And all of a sudden, Ethereum and Bitcoin will be holding hundreds of millions and billions of people instead of hundreds of thousands and millions. And the exponential growth of the network itself will lead to exponential growth of the asset values. And so, by solving for one problem, you solve for the other. But it actually starts here on YouTube. It starts with the content. And I know that the stress that I get while researching projects, the amount of time I put into finding projects, things like Parsec, right? Things like, I don't know, Rook, all the projects that we've been covering. I mean, there's countless, right? I've covered dozens and dozens of coins lately. And by giving people the access to that high quality information, by helping people steer people to the coins that are going to be good to them long term, my belief is that it's sort of the best thing possible for the overall industry. Because if we get people into the wrong coins, the get rich quick scammy coins that are all about, these weird tokenomics games, but there's no tech, there's no real product adoption there. To me, that's risky, right? That's risky, and that risks losing people before they can become long-term crypto adopters. What are my thoughts on Acropolis? I like Acropolis. I need to check back in. They've been I need to check back in on them. Engine, again, is sort of an old sleeper project. Engine is an example of a project that solved, in my opinion, interesting problems, but not the right problems. So the thing about Engine is they created new ERC20 standards. They were like one of the first big NFT ecosystems. But they really didn't solve the problem of what is going to be the games that people are using. And it looks like they have Efinity, some game here, but the games that I've been seeing them put out there are very simplistic, right? And it's like, those games to me are not going to hold users. And even looking at this, I don't know what's going, infinite transactions between players and game servers. Yeah, I don't think this is even a game, right? And so they're building a lot of infrastructure, which is good. But the biggest missing piece for me with NFTs is the actual video games. Because if we see the communities on Fortnite, the communities on Call of Duty, it's no question that there are billions, hundreds of millions and billions of users there, that if you put the right game in front of them and you made their items NFTs and you allowed them to transact on crypto through it, they would become crypto heads like this. But the problem is that the games have not been exciting and they don't provide the fundamental experience that gamers are looking for. Gamers, they just want a dopamine rush. They want excitement. They want to feel something when they go into the game. And so by giving them, NFTs with no good game, you're sort of like, it's done nothing, right? And the big game studios, they don't want to add NFTs because it's a threat to their money. It's a threat to their bottom line. If two players can trade with each other, then maybe they're not going to buy that skin from the actual company. So there's some issues there with getting the big good games onto blockchain. And that's why for the last 3 years, I've focused almost exclusively on building video games at a high quality. And you'll see what I've been building very soon. On Tuesday, we announce it. I'm super excited for it. We have some amazing things going on. But the thing is, trying to solve the hardest problem first is something that you don't see with crypto companies, but it's a big tenet of success in Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, with the biggest startups like the Instagrams and all of the big, unicorn startups, it's all about trying to solve the hardest problem first and get your hardest users to adopt it first. Because once you overcome and you achieve pleasing your hardest to please users, then the rest of it falls into place. And so the mindset of how to get products adopted from Silicon Valley isn't always applied here in crypto land. And Engine, I think, is a good example of a project that solved one problem, but and it's an interesting problem that they solved, which is how to make NFTs easier to put into games and all that stuff. But to be honest, NFTs aren't that hard to get into games. It's more of a question of what game. Because if we have one good game could convert a whole generation into crypto lovers, and I stick to that. That's something I believe in my soul. What am I putting $1,000 into right now? Ooh, there's actually a coin. There's actually a coin I put a big buy into. Somebody just said white though. Let me check in on White Heart and see what's going on here. Ooh, it's a nice dump on white. Yeah, this is it's a higher risk coin for sure, but this is one that I don't know. There's just something really exciting about the Hedrick and White Heart combo. Thoughts on 88 MPH? I like 88 MPH. I like it a lot, actually. It's an interesting project, that's for sure. I'm very, very excited by what they're doing, 88 MPH. I think that they have, I think that what they're presenting, in the end, it could be something that could become a DeFi primitive, which is one of the higher aspirations here in crypto land. But yeah, I don't want to say too much yet. Metcalfe's Law. Thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to super chat just to say Metcalfe's Law. Thank you. All makes sense now why everyone cheers for you. Keep up the content, Elio. Thank you, bud. Thank you. It means a lot. Got fiat ready to go. Is now the time? Can't answer that. Can't give financial advice like that. What about Pokeball Finance giving 13,000% APY? That's so funny. That's so funny. Hi from Ireland. Can you confirm that altcoin season has officially started? No one can confirm that for you, Karen. Karen, that's not how it works. Once once these things start and once they start moving, like here, let's look at Polkadot for a second. Can I look when Polkadot went from $4 to $5.75? Could I have confirmed that it was in a bull run? It came down for something. When it went from $5 to $9, could I confirm that it's Polkadot season? I don't know. It came down again to like $8. But then could I confirm it at $14? I don't know. Could I confirm it at $19? These things, they move super fast and super heavy. You need to look at historical comparisons. And I'm a believer that altcoin season always happens. It always happens. If you're at the end of altcoin season, you can get dumped on big time. So you got to be careful. But that's usually after things go like huge, like thousands of %. And so, if this is like last cycle, obviously each cycle is different, right? Each cycle is different. So if this is like last cycle, then it could be the case that things get seriously dumped on earlier or later. But if this is like last cycle, these numbers that we're seeing here on ChainX, right, at 59 million market cap, I would expect to see this thing add a few zeros, at least a zero, if not more, before the real dump happens. But if this thing goes and it goes like 100x from here, yeah, you could be looking at the top, right? Could be looking at the top. Fallon Network, the Polkadot ecosystem, Parsec, absolutely going bananas, right? Absolutely going bananas, Parsec. Where is it again? But yeah, I mean, alt season happens so viciously and so violently when it happens that you'll know when you're in it. I personally feel like we're in a bubbling phase. Like looking at what's a good example here? Let's look at Kusama. Or let's even look at like Acropolis, right? Like Acropolis had a vicious alt season back in July. But looking at it here, we started seeing this in the summertime, where we had stuff go from like, what was this, like a penny and a half, and all of a sudden it ramped up and it was like 7 cents, 8 cents, and then came down to like 5 cents, right? We had these like little pushes here during the summer, and this is Acropolis, the Acropolis chart, which is part of the Polkadot ecosystem. And we have these pumps and then these dumps and these little valleys, and then you get this huge motion up here to 4.5 cents. Or I'm sorry, it wasn't 1 cent. It was 0.1 cents. It was 1/10 of 1 cent, right? And then it comes up to 4/10 of a cent, or almost a penny, and then down. And then it comes up to 4.5 cents, right? And so you're looking at like a 40x here from the bottom here in early May 2020. And so it feels like we're in this phase right now. It feels like we're in this sort of May-June phase. That's what it feels like to me, is like we're in this part of the phase in the parabola for altcoins. And then once the parabola hits, it hits so fast. Like, look, this is the 30th of July. We're at 1 penny. And then the 5th of August, 4 or 5 days later, we're at, 350%. And then, within that month, we're literally, we're going hundreds of percents. And so the altcoin season happens really viciously when it happens. But arguably, this is even a little going to be made to look small by the next movement. I'm not saying that Acropolis is going to be the one. I do not mind Acropolis. I need to check back in on Acropolis's progress. But these are the kinds of motions that happen. They're vicious. And so you can't really chase it once it's here. You have to plan for it. That's why almost begged you guys, almost begging people, you know, while Bitcoin and Ethereum were rocketing, I was like, guys, this is what comes next. This is what comes next. How many videos did I do? Let's see, how many videos did I do here where I pretty much was begging people to plan for altcoin season? Let's see. This one, 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 this one. Yeah, I mean, this one. I mean, if you can tell here, almost all my videos are meant to be altcoin videos. It's what I'm more passionate about. I think Ethereum and Bitcoin are important to grasp the narratives, but I really want to help people get into the deep end of the pool and experience what the real experienced money is doing. And yeah, there are the really experienced people that are dunking on Bitcoin and they're dunking on Ethereum, but there's also the big brains that are getting in early to things like Rook. Like here we have Rook. This was Rook, and you can see in this video. Make sure it's muted here. Won't. Oh no, it's playing an ad. Oh no, it's playing an ad. Anyway, it was like $65. Point is that you want to plan for altcoin season. You want to get your bags packed and cozy, and then you want to enjoy the ride and not be chasing. Because when you chase after things that are hundreds of % up, you really run the risk of getting dumped on. That's just the reality. Guys, if you guys are enjoying this content, if you guys have benefited from the content, I know I've been getting a lot of messages. Do me a favor, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out, helps the channel reach more viewers. And again, I think that this kind of content is the kind of stuff that helps people truly get ahead, not just in the crypto journey, but in life. And I think that them getting dumped on by bad coins and bad calls by lower quality content is really, really dangerous, not just for them, but for the entire industry to be considered, once again, scammy and full of junk, right? It's what we don't want. It's what we do not want. So I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Please remind to check the bell notification. Yeah, guys, if you guys are not subscribed, we're going to be putting out some really fire altcoin content. I'm going to be putting out in-depth reviews and coverage of altcoins. And if you guys want to be the first ones to know about it, if you want to be in Rooks at $60, if you want to be in Archer DAOs at 40 cents, if you want to be in Parsec at 5 cents, then put the bell on, subscribe and put the bell on. It's totally free. I don't tell anyone about the content I'm going to make. I don't tell people about the content I'm going to make, right? This is the VIP group here is the notification bell. And most people have, paid groups and stuff. No shade on them. I think that that's not the way I want to do content. I want to share the knowledge for free. And I want to build a community, the widest community, the broadest community possible of big brains out there. And that's my goal, is to have this community be the people who actually see that next phase, who actually see that next wave, and who are there first, and are the, objectively the number one altcoin community, objectively the smartest altcoin community. And I think we've been doing a great job, and I think this is just the beginning. I mean, this stuff, movements like this in the market just make me more and more motivated. So it's really excited to be seeing this stuff. And again, yeah, okay, so you're seeing a little bit of a come down to earth, and it's not really a come down to earth here because it was just, look at Parsec, beautiful. And our first coverage of it back here, before it even moved, when it was just a baby. Anyway, so if you guys want the best coins early, then all you have to do is subscribe and put that bell notification on. If you guys are already subscribers, I would encourage you to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and put the bell back on, because there's been a lot of people chatting me saying they're not getting the bell notification. So if you want to make sure that you have the bell on, I would say you should do that. A lot of people saying that there's a bug. Yeah, thoughts on pros. Thanks for the super chats. Yeah, I invested in pros. Again, those are the types of projects that I don't want to share here because they're just so low micro cap, a lot more risky. But again, it's a 2 million micro cap that has more traffic in it than Augur, and Augur is like 120 million micro cap, so it's 1/60th the size. Those are the types of upsides that I look for, of disparities in the market. Alrighty. Yeah, I do have a video on how to get these coins. It's how to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. It's a video from a few weeks ago. Here, let me just look for how to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. That's the title of the video, and I walk you through how to set it up. What about bond finance? Just partnered with UNN. I'll look into it. I think bond finance is Bondbridge or Barnbridge. I'll have to. It's hard to keep track sometimes. What are my thoughts on linear finance? My thoughts on linear finance are, a lot of people I know are really a fan of it. I need to look a little deeper into it. Brody says, thanks for introducing me to PRQ. You're welcome, Brody. Ren going to skyrocket soon, you think? I'm personally a big believer in Ren. I'm a Kool-Aid drinker with Ren. It's on my God tier coins list. Thoughts on Badger DAO bringing BTC to DeFi? Yeah, well, Rune and Ren are already doing that, but Badger is also trying to do that. I think BTC DeFi is a smart thing. And there's a variety of approaches there. I'm not I'm not deeply familiar with Badger DAO, but yeah, I'm a believer in that space. Okay. Lots of people asking for thoughts on Bondly. Yeah, it's interesting. They sort of, they're interesting. They're sort of just getting their start. So I'm looking to see how they grow and develop. They sort of went into the collectible card thing, which is cool. And I'm big on NFTs and collectibles. And so we'll see how they go. I mean, they created a really interesting excitement around their collectible ecosystem, and we'll see if they can keep that momentum up. Is optimism supposed to be public benefit, not having yeah, I think optimism is just a network. $20 super chat, thank you. 20 pounds, wow. Crypto use of lots of energy, uses lots of energy, invest in solar energy stocks. Okay. Where's the best place to find these altcoins? Guys, look at my video on how to find altcoins. All right, guys. We're at about an hour and 4 minutes. I don't want these videos to get too long. If you guys enjoyed the content, please give me a thumbs up. We're going to be doing some seriously deep altcoin content here on this channel. To me, altcoins are the way to take the most advantage of the Bitcoin and Ethereum bull runs, distribute those profits into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so we're going to be continually trying to give you the edge, continually trying to help you get ahead of this market and give you coins, you know. We have institutional grade research firms coming out with research on Parsec now, talking about how this is the coin to get now. When we were covering this months and months ago, we're gonna have institutional grade research firms, those paid research groups that are advising Wall Street and big investors, and they're gonna come and they're gonna pick the coins that we're talking about weeks and months and even years late. And so if you guys want to be on the cutting edge, I've prided myself on not only doing the best research, but learning from the best researchers in the entire game. And I'm here to bring you hopefully the absolute best content. We see already that the coins that we are celebrating here in this community are becoming hot topics in the crypto community. And that to me means that we are really the #1 altcoin community here on YouTube and probably in the world. And that gives me a tremendous sense of pride. And we're going to continue to rock with this. And days like this, weeks like this, make me even more dedicated to showing you guys the magic that can be altcoins if you get into the right ones, you plan for them, you don't FOMO, you have a very unemotional and strategic way that you get into this market, protect your capital, de-risk, manage your risk, take out your initials, stuff like that. All those strategies are things that I've gone over ad nauseum. For the new people in here, I'm going to do my best to keep you guys informed of the best information in the space. So if that's of value to you guys, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and put that bell notification on. With that said, my name's Elio Trades. You can find me on Telegram or Twitter. The links for both of those are in the description. If you guys are looking to earn some passive income on your cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency, you can earn up to 8.6% on BlockFi. The link for that is also in the description, blockfi.com/Elio Trades. And if you do sign up, it helps the channel and I appreciate it. With that said, thank you so much for watching. My name's Elio Trades, and I will see you very soon on the next episode.